How's it going, guys? Girls, hope you guys have a great week. So I'm back today with a new video. This is kind of like a first impressions video. It's my first video in a couple of weeks, guys, because as you all know, I had COVID. I'm not fully recovered. I do have kind of a bad cough, and I get breathless very easily. So it's probably going to be some short content videos before I actually get back to my full-on streaming, which I am planning to hopefully do at the end of October, beginning of November. We'll just sort of see how my recovery goes. But today I want to talk about Warhammer 40k Darktide, and Dante and I actually got hands-on with this weekend. We got access to a closed beta. This game is set for release on the 30th of November. And we had a lot of fun playing it, so I wanted to talk about it today. What is Warhammer 40k Darktide, what sort of game it is, a little bit of my impressions on the game, and why I'm more excited to actually jump in and play it and hopefully stream it when it does come out on the 30th of November. So what is Warhammer 40k Darktide? Well, it's a 4-player cooperative horde mode style game, very similar to say other franchises like Left 4 Dead. It's developed by Fatshark. This is the same team behind Vermintide 1 and 2, which were very well received, and they were mostly melee, but in that same kind of horde mentality. It's set in the 40k Warhammer 40k period, dark future. Now, I myself know absolutely nothing about Warhammer. I haven't played any of the Warhammer games. I don't know very much about it, but after playing the closed beta this weekend, I am so fascinated by the lore of this world, and it just looks incredible. One thing that really stood out to me in the closed beta was just the absolutely incredible art style, art direction, the attention to detail, some of the levels and settings that we got to sort of explore as part of the closed beta were amazing. They were so cool, and that was combined with an incredibly awesome soundtrack, and that's made me super fascinated in Warhammer 40k. I'm really interested, and I'm wanting to watch lore videos and find out more. So what's the basic premise of it? Well, as I said, it's set in the 40k Warhammer dark future. Now, you basically are known as rejects. You're a team of 4 rejects. Rejects effectively are kind of criminals, and what happens is you are sent to investigate a potential chaos infiltration on the planet Atoma Prime, which is in the hive city of Tertium. You're exploring down into this hive, and you're effectively being sent on a suicide mission or multiple suicide missions to try and turn the tide and obviously stop the spread of this chaos. And that's the basic premise of it. It's really cool. You get to create your own character. There's a really nice, robust character creation at the beginning of the game. When the game is released on the 30th of November, there will be, initially, the developers have confirmed there will be 4 playable classes that you can choose from. And I've tried out all 4 of them, and I have to say that each class felt very, very, very distinct. They have their own distinct melee and ranged weapon options, but they also have unique special abilities that they can utilize as well. Those 4 classes are the Veteran Sharpshooter. This is more your quintessential familiar FPS role, so you can do critical hits and focus on weak points and headshots. You have an ability that kind of slows down time and increases your weapon accuracy and weapon damage, and you also have a really cool melee weapon to start off with, which is like the spade, which you can obviously use to knock off heads and decapitate enemies and all sorts of things. The melee combat in this game is visceral. It is visceral. You see body parts flying left, right, and center. I started out as the Veteran Sharpshooter, it's a really accessible class, and I really enjoyed it. In fact, each of the 4 classes I really did enjoy. You also have the Zealot Preacher. Now, this is more of your melee-based class, and was a lot of fun to utilize. You do more damage. As you take more damage, you do more melee damage. You have a charge ability which allows you to charge through enemies, and your first attack that you hit has increased critical damage. One of my favorite classes to actually play as, though, was the Psykinetic. This is like your mage class, where you are more of a range class, so to speak. You do have a revolver pistol if you need to use that, with 6 shots, I think, that you can use, obviously. But one of the coolest abilities was the ability to actually attack enemies from range, and you have this ability to basically take over an enemy and ultimately, like, explode their head effectively. But if you use these abilities too much, it becomes dangerous for you, and you can actually die from that. So there is very much a balance with using that power. And then you have this really cool, like, Full Svaldar, like, kind of Skyrim ability, where you press the RB button and you do this, like, wave attack where you sort of push enemies back and knock them over. So it's really good for kind of crowd control, and it's very useful in a team to be able to help out your teammates like that. And then finally, probably one of the most iconic of the classes is the Allgrin Skull Crusher. This is this big hulking tank with a really cool looking melee weapon. You're kind of hunkering over everybody, and then you have this like one hit sort of shotgun revolver that has this massive like bullet that recharges. You have to, it's like, you know, it's just does so much brutal damage. It's very slow, very hulking, but obviously has a lot more HP. So each of the 4 classes was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed each of them. Probably my 2 favorites so far probably is the Sharpshooter and also the Psykinetic. I really enjoyed both of those classes a lot, so those probably will be my starting classes when I do pick up this game on the 30th of November. But I very much enjoyed the gunplay. The combat felt really smooth and responsive, really enjoyable. The weapons are really cool. The melee was so much fun, which is what you want, you know, in a horde style game, especially this is, you know, because it reminds me a lot of Left 4 Dead. So it was a really cool. Of course, you can customize every character, so you can make the character your own, whether it's male, female. You can do a lot, from hair to face, eye color, tattoos, scars, you know, things like that. And then what's really cool is you can actually give every character their own kind of backstory, you know, very reminiscent of Mass Effect. Now, I don't know how much of an impact that will have on the lines and the dialogue that's delivered or the flavor for the story, but it was very cool to be able to kind of create your own, you know, canon or your own backstory on that character. What I really loved as well, though, was every character had 3 choices in terms of dialogue. So you could pick, you know, different accents and a different personality in terms of, you know, the dialogue that character will speak. And it made for some really fun, really cool characters. Like, I think I made my Allgrin Skull Crusher, I think I made him Russian, and it was just really fun. I made my Psykinetic, I think I made him like Haitian, as if he was like, you know, dealing with like voodoo magic, you know, that kind of thing, and I gave him his own sort of head canon. So I really enjoyed getting into that, and I have to say that the voice acting and the delivery was really funny, really enjoyable. There's a lot of very fun kind of lines and banter between the characters. So again, very reminiscent to the Left 4 Dead series in that way, in that you play through levels, you have objectives in levels, so there's certain things where you have to kind of do puzzle solvey things, or you have to like guard a point or guard an elevator until it arrives, you know, as the horde's attacking you. There are special enemies as well, just like there were special infected in Left 4 Dead. There are special enemies in here. There are things that are massive and hulking and will charge you down. There are enemies that will try and tie you down throwing things at you. There are both ranged and melee enemies as well. So I really did enjoy the enemy type, the level design, the music, and the minute-to-minute combat and gunplay was a lot of fun. So what I've seen, what is here, is really cool and really exciting, and that's what made me super hyped for it, really, and even more interested. Now obviously I did play this on PC on Steam. There were some issues, of course. This was a closed beta, so there were a couple of issues. I know that we did it is quite a beast, is the game, so it does require a lot of your PC, so I did have to lower down some of my settings. I think I ended up playing it in like 1920 1440k resolution. I lowered down the textures to medium instead of high. I didn't have ray tracing running or anything like that because I wanted the gameplay to be really smooth, and that's very important in this kind of thing. So you may well find that, you know, I would check out the minimum, you know, and recommended requirements for this game on Steam if you are going to pick it up and play it on PC. It will also be coming to the Xbox Series S and X as well. Apparently it's going to release on PC on the 30th of November and then on consoles soon after. And apparently this will be a day one release on the Xbox Game Pass, which is really awesome if you obviously have access to that. I don't know if it's coming on PC Game Pass, but I hope it is. Because obviously that means I'll be able to play it with hopefully Fish, Edge and Dante as well, and we can get a 4-player team going, and I'd love to stream it for you guys because I had so much fun playing it. I really did enjoy it. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to diving in and checking out more. There were definitely some bugs. We did have some disconnection when we were playing it. Thankfully nothing during a match. It was always beforehand when we were going in to select a mission. There were a couple of glitches as well, so like there were things where, like, you know, we would open up chests and things and there was nothing inside them. There is a progression system in this, so as you choose missions, they have a certain level of difficulty. You gain currency and you level up that character as well. And as you get that currency, you can purchase weapons and things from shop vendors. That allows you obviously to do more damage in terms of your weapon, your melee and things like that, which allows you to take on more difficult levels. So there is definitely a progression system. I haven't seen any loot drops or anything like that. So it's not really a looter shooter per se. Definitely not anything like that, but there is a degree of progression in there, which is really awesome. And the game is priced, even if you are planning to get it on Steam, I think its retail price is something like $32.99, so it's a very reasonably priced game. This is not a £60-70 game. This is $32.99, which I think for what is here and what potentially could be added later on is really, really cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The developers have said they're going to be adding more classes as they go along, but initially on release there will be 4 classes, and each of the 4 classes are very different and varied, that I think you can really have good fun with them. And you can actually have, you know, 4 different classes created, and you can drop in and out of them very easily. It's very, very similar to Destiny, you know, in that way. So that's really, really cool. But yeah, having played Warhammer Darktide, 40k Darktide, it's a really long title, but I will say that I really enjoyed the closed beta this weekend, and if there is another open beta, I do recommend that you do check it out. You know, put your name down if there is going to be another one. I don't know if there will be. But yeah, I'll definitely be bringing more Warhammer 40k Darktide content on the channel if you're interested. I did think about doing a kind of class guide video, just covering the 4 different classes very briefly in a video before it's released on the 30th of November. So if that's something that you would be interested in seeing, do let me know. You know, do share that in the comment section below, and obviously, you know, hopefully I'll be well enough to do that. Now obviously going ahead, I'm still recovering, so these kind of videos probably are going to be most of what I bring out, you know, in the next couple of weeks. Obviously A Plague Tale Requiem comes out this week on the 18th of October. on Game Pass, and I was planning to do a full Let's Play for that series, but we'll have to see how we get on. I'm going to see how I might wait till Tuesday or Wednesday and see how I feel then, and see if I feel well enough to record anything for that, because I did want to do a Let's Play for it, and I was really looking forward to that. And then I also do want to do a video discussing my take on the most recent news we got last week or the week before on CD Projekt Red and all the projects that they're obviously got on the back burner at the moment. I do want to talk about that as well. So that will be something that will be coming, and I will be still doing my Halloween Spooktober streams, obviously Dead Space and Left 4 Dead 2, but I have to wait till I'm a lot better. Like just the idea of streaming for 2 hours and talking constantly, I don't think I could manage that right now, just because of you know, this cough and obviously recovering. So I still need to make sure I am focusing on my recovery. But it is nice to be back recording something for the channel. I've missed you guys. I've been away for 2 weeks and it feels like forever. It's frustrating when I've got content that I want to make and I've got things I want to talk about and things, but it is what it is. You know, that's just life. Life just happens. But thank you to everybody, obviously, who have supported me up until now. Thank you so much for all your well wishes and comments over the last few weeks. It really has kept me smiling, as I've been feeling pretty crap, pretty down. So I do really appreciate it. Again, thank you for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, of course. If you did enjoy, please do show your support by liking, commenting, sharing, and don't forget to subscribe. I am very close to 20,000 subscribers, and I would love to get there by the end of the year. That would be absolutely amazing. So let's get to 20k, guys. We're nearly there. We're so close. But yeah, thank you so much for all your support, guys. You are amazing. Have a great week, of course. Take care, everybody, and as always, happy gaming. Bye, guys.